Last time on Sailing Soulianis.
Love, this is the next stage of our life.
Bye, San Diego.
This would be an absolutely daunting thing, having to do the finish work.
Yeah.
That's why having someone like Jack to help is an exciting proposition.
We are under contract with a boat, which will hopefully close on in June. And before that, the owner is going to make a bunch of improvements for us as a part of the deal.
There she is.
This is the first time we've seen it with the cover off. It's had this big giant plastic sheet covered with dust and bird crap, and well, now the bird crap's on the deck, but we've been able to walk around without crawling underneath the plastic, and it's cool. All right, here's the galley. We've got our gimbaled stove, which needs to be freed because at the moment it hits the back wall and sticks apparently. Our double sink, our main food storage area, quarter berth.
That's our guest house.
Guest house for one adult and one toddler. Chart table, which Jack is currently finishing. Pilot berth. I'm kind of excited to sleep in that. It looks perfectly my size. And look at Kirk's feet.
They don't touch.
They don't even touch. And that's my headbanging spot over there. Gonna have to get used to that. And these things are awesome. Look at that. It pops right up.
So where are you now?
I'm in the V berth, which isn't really a berth anymore.
No. Forward sail storage locker and chain
And the
locker
head.
in the head.
So we've got a spot where our compost toilet is going to go.
That is the biggest area for storage on the boat. So
Yeah.
maybe we put a bike up there.
Yeah.
A folding bike.
We should definitely put a bike
Or
up
two.
there.
Oh, look at that.
We were wondering where all our sheets were. Haha, they're right here. It's terrible.
Oh my god. We might need to get out of here soon.
Moratorium on boat puns.
Yeah.
Wow, what goes down there? Cool. Oh, and Jack was really excited to show us, I mean, as excited as 80-year-old guy can get,
That was pretty exciting.
to show us our companionway screens so we can keep the bugs out. All right, I think that's it. What do you think?
I think that's the boat.
White. Red.
Mm-hmm.
Nightlight.
In the red light district.
How amazing is it going to be to have this thing in the water?
There's a heck of a lot to do before then.
I don't know much about the things I do, and often people call me insecure. I got 2 pairs of cheap ass sneakers, and I don't know if they get me through. But I know that you ain't okay with the way you live right now. And I could talk 1,000 times about lousy crimes, it's my show. But you gotta face your fears and get down with it tonight. And get down with it tonight. I gotta tell you the reason why. Face your fears and get down with it tonight. And get down with it tonight. I gotta tell you the reason why.
We have a water tank. Make it progress. Did I guess the right size? That never happens. Alright, now is there no threads showing? So we've been here, what, 4 days, 5 days? We've just been cleaning, organizing, kind of trying to understand the boat. Today we finally started tearing stuff apart.
Painted the anchor chain.
Now we're trying to figure out what's going on with the freshwater system and trace all the plumbing lines and figure out what we need to replumb. And we just took a lunch break to catch some vitamin D. Now we're gonna go back at it.
Almost everybody thinks today being a daughter is the only way. They see the signs but they push them away. They say it's just a holy fake. I know that it's hard to believe in things you can't see.
All sorts of goodies in the village.
It's a very therapeutic process. Getting all the gunk out of the boat. Okay, so then this goes back to something. So we gotta figure out where that column number 1 goes in. In this setting, it flips out and goes to this hose here. Alright, so let's follow this hose. So we gotta go down into the engine. So we need to figure out which one of these it is. I'm assuming it's this one. And right here, which goes... Yeah, I need to get into the quarter burst. So the good news is, we've got some extra length in these hoses to reroute in here if we want to, I think.
Oh, can you hold my feet? Yeah, there we go. Now I have some leverage.
Does it go to the side of the hull or to the deck?
Okay, yeah. So that looks to me like it's curving and then following the side of the hull back.
Okay. Because I think that might just be a vent then. I wish Craig was here. Craig was our amazing neighbor in Oceanside. He's a mechanic and knew everything there is to know about anything that needs knowing. I need him. Craig, I need you!
But you gotta face your fears and get down with it tonight. And get down with it tonight. I gotta tell you the reason why. Face your fears and get down with it tonight. And get down with it tonight. I gotta tell you the reason why.
I feel like I'm gonna break something that maybe we do end up wanting to keep. That's usually how this shit goes. There we go. Ha-ha! Well, there's that. Okay. Project done.
Project done.
A patch over that, and then put a big washer.
To prevent the chain from ripping through that?
Yeah, if it ever came to it.
Basically completely isolate the pump and the accumulator tank from the rest of the plumbing. And if you look here on the front of the pump,
the way that this works is water would come in through this through hole here. Goes through this strainer. So we would basically plumb this to this through the pumps. There's dual pumps to, I don't know why, but there's 2 pumps. Comes back out through here and is now pressurized. And if you're drawing water, it will just spit pressurized water out this way. So that would go to this connection, which is our washdown hose.
Okay.
And if you're not drawing water and it needs to pump, it just pumps right into there.
So there's no other lines leading away from it towards the sink in the galley or anything like that? So this is an entire pump just for the washdown?
I think so.
That seems kind of crazy. Well, maybe we should go ask Bob and Debbie.
I think we should. Let's go do it.
We walked over to talk to Bob and Debbie, who are friends of Jack's and who actually helped Jack with a lot of projects on Tocrimo.
Before we could even ask them about the water system, they asked us if we had heard what happened to Jack. That's when we learned that Jack had just fallen down the stairs and went into emergency surgery because he broke his back. We were just floored. We felt so bad for Jack.
Kirk and I went back to Tocrimo and sat in the salon, and I put my head in my hands and started crying. Because besides poor Jack and hoping that he's not going to be paralyzed, we knew that our dream with this boat was probably coming to an end. Slide that one in first.
Sure. We have not closed on the boat yet. The purchase was contingent upon Jack, who's a master woodworker, to finish out a lot of the woodworking of the boat by the 20th of June. Neither Lauren or I have the woodworking skills to do this. We had been focusing on putting in the systems.
We spent last week mapping that all out and figuring out what we needed to buy to make that happen.
And we figured that was a good way for us to learn the systems of the boat while Jack finished the woodworking. But without him being able to finish the woodworking, there's absolutely no way that we're going to make it out of the Great Lakes this summer.
There would be no one able to do the work that he does. And he wasn't about to hire another woodworker to do it for him either. Like, this is his baby,
He loves the boat. Today, we were driving back to the boatyard to put back into the boat the exact things that we had just pulled out of the boat so that we could work on it, because we now, unfortunately, are thinking we're going to have to back out of this deal. It sucks.
At this point, we had moved out of our house, sold our car. We had been crashing at our parents' houses for the last 7 months, expecting any day to find a boat and close on it and move onto the boat. Yeah, moved on.
Get out of the house.
This was right at the beginning of the very short Great Lakes sailing season. If we were going to be spending the next half a year or longer working on this boat, that means we wouldn't have been out sailing this season.
We were partway through the summer already, and we were back to square one.
It felt like, and this is selfish, it felt like the universe was conspiring against us. It made us question whether or not we were supposed to be doing this. Are we actually supposed to be buying a boat and going cruising? Or should we be buying a house and getting a job again?
We know the old saying that you can't have plans while sailing. But we weren't sailing yet. We really desperately wanted to go sailing before we had kids. We're not 20-somethings. We want to go out and sail for a year or two before we have kids, and we need to have kids in a year or two.
In the near future.
So this was kind of the make or break moment. We've put a lot of effort into this, and we've pulled a lot of strings to make this happen, and this has been our dream for more than 10 years. Sort of are left with no options, but now to look for another boat, it just sucks, because we already feel bad enough that Jack has fallen down the stairs and broken his back, and
now we're going to tell him that we're not buying his boat anymore.
going backwards.